I'm over there and I look and I see this car. So welcome to another episode of Junkyards and Barn Finds with Sean, and I'm Sean. Hey guys, so I was over there at a car show when I looked over and I saw this Lincoln Continental sitting here, and there's a big ditch of water there, so I drove around and I'm sitting here and there's no one around. Everything's locked and this car's sitting out. So I mean, it's a Lincoln Continental. I think it's what, a Mark 1, if that's what it is. I don't even know. But it just is absolutely cool, and it's just sitting outside. So it's currently registered. Maybe it's just a Lincoln Continental. Maybe this is what Lincoln Continentals were before they had marks, but it's a two-door flavor. It actually has the window vent open. So, I mean, it looks like it's in absolutely crazy nice shape. So, doesn't say it says 12, so maybe it's got a 12 cylinder in it. I mean, that's an old paint job. It doesn't look restored, although I would imagine that that's got to be a restored paint job, and he's got the stuff open. It looks like it must have came out of here, so maybe somebody was working on it today. Maybe they went to lunch. There's a mask in there, and has 35,297 on the speedometer there, odometer rather. It's got a clock. Red interior is just gorgeous. It's a really pretty car. I mean, you can see it does have some old time stuff. I mean, it's an older car. Actually, it looks like it had to have been painted once, because it looks like there's some tape or something still left on there when it was repainted. Maybe it had a vinyl roof because it's got this trim around it, or maybe that's just how it goes. It's got these skirts on here. It's just a really beautiful car. So I don't know. I just saw it and I thought, wow, you could see it from over there, and just the way it sits, it kind of reminds me of like an old Rolls Royce or something. Whoops. So I just saw it. I thought you guys would be interested in it. I mean, just look at the way it sits. I mean, it's white walls and everything, and look how big. I'll bet you it has a V12 in it. Look how long that hood is. That is just huge. The interior, even though it's a two-door, that interior is big inside. They even got vent windows in the rear. The rear end's got the back end. The passenger compartment has vent windows as well. Big doors. It's got, look, push button knobs back then. So, and a little cover for the key. So here's your fuel. These 1930s Art Deco, well, we call it Art Deco now, but back in the day it was styling. But it's got these really nice Art Deco rear lights. All the chrome's nice on this. It's got the trunk. Look at these trunk latches, pop, pop. And that's a big trunk, but it goes in the bottom, so it kind of looks like going in from the top. You don't have to move the tire, but it also looks at like what trunks were. They were modeled after actual trunks that had the lids that opened up top. People used to put on the back of their cars. Steering wheel is white, the interior is red. Look at, this has got to be the world. With a big sail. There, this is see-through. You can see through this. So this is just really, 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 really cool. And this looks like, I don't know, is that an antenna? Or maybe that's where you put flags. I mean, this thing probably is something that was used by very wealthy people, maybe from other countries or something, and that's where you put the flag? I don't know. Look at the mirrors. The mirrors are way back, way down here near the hinge. There's dual mirrors and they're on the hinges, but there's also a mirror up here on the vent glass. I mean, I really wish the owner was around, because it would be really cool to ask about it, but I don't see anybody here, and there doesn't look like there's a door to knock on. All the doors are locked. That is just a very, very cool car. So this is one way that we find barn finds, is driving around these areas that are, I mean, if you look up here, there's a highway, and then over here is a Ford dealership that I've been to 150,000 times. So I'm over there and I look and I see this car, and so I have to drive around and go in and out of a whole bunch of roads. I'm sorry. So I see the car from over there because I just happened to look over and see it, and I only saw the nose of it, and I thought that's neat. So I drive all the way around and came through a couple buildings over here, because there's some buildings over here in this little industrial park. Kept coming through, finally came here, found this. There's no way I would have ever seen this from a road, but I'm always on the lookout. So this is how we find what's called a barn find. Is it a barn find? No, it probably sits in there. So, but storage unit find doesn't have the same flavor. So that's what we do. We come over, we see this, we walk around it. Maybe sometimes there's an owner here that sees us and comes out, or sometimes like now, I don't know who owns that car. I wish I did. If you do and you're watching the channel, please let me know. But this is something that's very cool, and how I decide if it's something I'm gonna put on the channel or not is, do I think it's neat? If I think it's cool, I'm gonna put it on the channel. And I think, look at that hood. You're telling me that that is not a sexy car. Does that not remind you of the Oscar Awards from 1953? I don't know, is that 53? I don't know my 50s cars, but all I know is that that's cool, and I know you guys will think it's cool, and that's really how I find these things. So if you're out and about, you know, one of the best places is, today's a Saturday, it's blue skies, it's in November in Florida, so it's actually cooler weather. I wouldn't know, November in Maine's probably not the same, but coming here, finding that is worth the day, I think. Anyway, I wish I could open it up. So I'm gonna put one of my cards, which is why you should always carry cards if you have a YouTube channel. And that way they know who was here. And maybe he'll call me and let me come over and open the hood and everything. So that's how we do it. Nothing special. It's basically just having the guts to either go up to somebody at their house and knock on the door, or drive by a business and see something sitting in the back. Most time they're under a cover. This one happens to be out, so I have a feeling that whoever this is probably at lunch, maybe going to the store for something or whatever. But I want to make sure that they see that I was here. So we'll put that like that. And maybe he'll call. Maybe they'll just go online and see their vehicle there and be like, hey, that's pretty cool. Anyway, so that's how I find barn finds. And it's not that hard. It's not rocket science. So, all right, guys. If you like this kind of thing, please subscribe. If you really like this kind of thing, subscribe again. And I'll see you next time. April, should they subscribe to this channel even if they don't like cars today for this one?
Probably just for this one.